All My Love. I know that's difficult for you to talk about it because you wrote that in the wake of your son's death in the mid-'70s. And as a parent, I know what every other parent knows, that your terror in life is that one of your children will die before you do. And I recognize it. But tell me what you can and what you will about All My Love.
Yeah. I think it was just paying tribute to the joy that he gave us as a family, you know, and in a crazy way still does occasionally. His mother and I often, I mean, the memory changes, the contrast and the focus changes as time goes on. It's a long time ago that we lost him, 40 years ago. And we were blessed with another boy who came along about 2 years later. And the two images are blurred. The definition between Karak and Logan is, it's a tough one to chip through the two things. But he was a little nature boy, you know. He was a mountain man.
How did you get through that?
Well, it wasn't easy, especially in the light of the fact that there's the whole hysteria that surrounded the mid to late 70s was, it was anything but conducive to normal family life. But we pulled tight together, and both my wife and I, we had strong families, so, and good support. I mean, John Bonham from Zeppelin and his wife Pat, they were magnificent with us and helped us a lot, and we lived pretty close together, a long way from London, so we were kind of local people. And local community, I'm still in the same place, really, more or less, you know. There's no words that are anywhere to be found that can tell you about the sort of huge abyss. I wrote another song about him called I Believe, which was on an album in 1992, and it was, and every now and again, he turns up in songs, you know, for no other reason than I miss him a lot.
Well, grief is such a uniquely individual thing, and such an intimate thing that nobody can give anybody advice about grief. But going through what you did, losing a son and a young son at that, is there any word maybe of counsel that you could give to someone who's looking in on this and saying, you know, I lost somebody recently?
Well, as you say, it's such an individual phenomena, or just piece of real bad luck. And I don't know how many people have been in the public eye to such a garish degree as that. You know, that's what happened to us. I know other guys who do what I do, who've lost kids, and because we're kind of public property in a way, for all that we're not before this, because there's so much hidden. We're still public property, so our conditions and our luck and our bad luck and our whole circumstances are there for public discussion. Yeah, that's how it works, you know. So when it's tough, it's really tough. I would just say, I can't imagine how people get through it. There's no advice. Just love everything around you as much as you can. Really.
Well, you spent some time in Austin, Texas. Now, for transparency, I'm a Texan, fifth or sixth generation Texan,
right, yeah.
Born and raised there. But I'm interested in your experience. You moved to Austin and lived there for quite a while. What was that like, and what did you learn from it?
Well, I thought I knew America. I thought I'd been around it for 40-odd years, and I knew many Americas, and I was impressed. And when my kid, the kid that followed Karak, when he was young, he used to come on tour with me with his skateboard, and I used to buy a big Rand McNally map of the United States, which every year has new roads. And I've got a bigger one all the time now. I'm nearly blind, and I used to hit the road in a rental car, and I used to plan my touring based on places I hadn't yet explored. So I could go from Norfolk, Virginia, across the Blue Ridge Mountains, and then go, the Smoky Mountains and down into Tennessee. It was brilliant, all that stuff. And Texas, I played there, and then I thought, well, Austin, surely that's where Jimmy Vaughan comes from. That's where all these guys have gone to, all these musicians. And I went there and I met all these guys, and I went, wow, there's more musicians per square mile there than anywhere else on the planet, even Nashville. And also they had more attitude, I think, than the Nashville. There was more of a kind of Tex-Mex type of rock and roll element to it. There was the Continental Club, which is a brilliant hang.
Right.
So I went down there and without further ado moved in.
But you eventually left. You liked
Yeah.
it. You liked a lot of things about it, but you
Yeah.
eventually left.
Well, yeah, many reasons. But I guess really I used to go home quite a lot, back to England. And the relief of opening the door of the airplane when you got back to a temperate climate was like, whoa, Although I'm a drifter in many respects with a silver spoon, I must say that maybe because I already lost my boy and my family have ached ever since, I think I was missing family. Even though I have been transient for the last 53 or 4 years, So there was something about going back. But there was also the feeling of defeat, because I really didn't want to go back, but I was just drawn. And so there are a lot of factors behind it.
When you're not singing, when you're not consumed by music, and I recognize you are much of the time, what do you like to do? You said you like to travel, you like to drive around. What else do you like to do?
Well, I'm a terrible sort of hack tennis player. I love playing tennis. I mean, doubles these days, of course. Less running around. But I mean, that, and I play five-a-side soccer on a Wednesday night in the village where I live. And I try and find my family, and you look after the kids and then you got to find them later. Because I live sort of maybe 8 miles from where I went to school. I mean, there's a very comfortable and humorous rapport with all my neighbors and friends. It's a good life.